Ah, it's just you, viewer-kun. What? Valentine's Day is that close, and you don't have anything for your girlfriend? I'll take care of this. Follow me. Whew. Much better. Konnichiwa and Ohio. Welcome to Cooking with Jard-kun. This recipe's for the guys. It is a quick and easy thing, and if you needed to, you can make it in less than 10 minutes. Let me go get my equipment. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. Let's see what equipment we will need for this. One is a high saucepan, as high as you can get because we're going to be making some hot stuff. Next up, you will need measuring spoons and measuring cups, and a couple of bowls for our dry ingredients later. We'll also need a wooden spoon, so that does not conduct heat on, once again, hot stuff. And most importantly, you will need one or more Japanese blades. Have to be Japanese or this won't work. However, after that, it's up to your preference. You can use a tanto, a wakizashi, or a katana. You can also use an odachi if you have one like me, although today I just won't be using it. So today we'll be making Jard-kun's Oishii Almonds, so let's get to the ingredients. First up, of course, is raw almonds, non-salted. You will need some cinnamon and sugar. You will need some heavy cream. You will need some normal granulated sugar, some salt, and some dark chocolate. I will be using the darkest I could find at 86%. Now, I've heard some people say that any chocolate above 50% caca is absolutely euphoric, and I couldn't agree more. Let's get to the cooking, shall we? Alright, we're going to be making a caramel sauce to start my recipe. Don't worry, viewer-kun, this isn't hard at all. All we have to do is dump some sugar in and add some water, using 1 cup sugar right now, and a 1/4 cup of water. This is to help it not burn. Don't mind the explosion. That's not supposed to happen, but I can work with it. And you stir it all around. Now I'm doing this over a medium heat, and I'll just keep an eye on this as it cooks. You may want to add lemon juice in order to prevent crystallization, but I don't feel like it. Now, once the sugar really gets going, we'll have to keep a very close eye on it. For now, though, we have some downtime while it's just heating up. So, what have you been up to? I've actually gotten back into watching romance anime lately. After all these years, I finally watched Toradora and Oraimo. They both managed to disappoint me in new ways, but overall I like them both. Toradora, personally, I think it went pretty bad after they changed the opening. I really liked the first opening, you know, Pure Karaito. Very good. Do you want me to sing a full cover of that? No? Whatever. While this is starting, let's just go do something else. Now, what can I do while this is cooking? Ooh, I know. We need to melt this chocolate later, so let's get started on that. So in order to help this chocolate melt, we're going to cut it up. If you happen to have just chocolate chips that you like the taste of, you can skip this part. I'm going to be using my self-taught dual wheel technique, and today it's just going to be tanto and wakizashi. I want to be very careful, and I don't want to accidentally cut through the supports of the house or anything like that, so safety is always a priority. Let's get to it. So, just going to cut it up as much as I can, start with some nice broad strokes here. And if you have a European sword, this won't work. It'll probably chip the sword if anything, but this is pretty good for now. Okay, we're going to need 1/2 cup of heavy cream. I only have milk, so I'm just going to dump a ton of whipped cream into this to make the heavy cream. I don't know if that works, but it doesn't really matter. I've learned that love is what matters when you're cooking. Now I'm just going to mix this all together until it's liquidish. And then this is going straight into the caramel after it's off the heat. So it's been about 10 minutes, and as you can see, this is actually changing color very quickly. It went from like white to this very quickly. Now we have to keep a very close eye on it. I want a dark amber color because I desire thickness in my caramel sauce. But if you like it very light, you could stop it right now. Now at this point, you can see it is darkening on some parts. You do not stir the caramel since the very beginning, but you do want to shift it around to spread that coloration. I'm going to let this keep going for probably a minute or two until it's much darker. Okay, now we're going to be dumping in our cream straight into it. Be very careful. You do not want to get that molten sugar on you, I promise. I'm going to stir that in very quickly. Here we go. Remember, wooden spoon or you'll regret it. Again, be very careful here. Keep mixing until it feels like that's all boiled out. Getting much thicker now. Okay, now we're gonna adding some butter. Doesn't really matter how much. Depends how much you like butter, I guess. And after you add your desired amount, just like mix it all in. That's a bit too much. Let's just go with this for now. Yeah, that's good. Okay, now let's whisk that in. And by whisk, I mean use a wooden spoon again. You should actually do this while it's still hot, but I was pretty busy making that cream. Okay, and after that melts in, we're just about ready to go. We'll add some salt, and we'll pour this out. Okay, and all that is done. Now I'm going to pour it into this here and be very quick. I did get some on my hand when I was stirring, and I assure you it is as painful as you'd imagine. Trust me, it's totally supposed to be black. That's the deep amber I was talking about. It's the perfect color and consistency. Okay, now we can start on the rest of the almonds after that cools down. Okay, now that our delicious caramel sauce is cooling, let's go back to melting the chocolate while we wait. So I'm just gonna cut up some more, and who did this? I don't know who did this, but I know what their plan is. They want me to strip, so I have to change the show's rating to L for lewd. But too bad for them. I wear more shirts than one. Yeah. Take that, Jard-kun haters. I'm gonna go back to melting my chocolate. Viewer-kun, I'm sorry you had to see that. I don't know who would throw water on me on my own cooking show, but anyway, let's just go back to the next step, which is melting our dark chocolate. Please stop staring at my nipples. I know you can see them, but let's just put this in after you cut it up, and all you gotta do is microwave it. I recommend just watching it. Try 20-30 seconds, depending how much you put in, and that's all there is to it. Okay, now that everything's melted and or cooled down, we can finally make a Jard-kun Oishii Almond. Okay, so the first step in this recipe is to dip it in our delicious caramel sauce. Just soak it as much as you can. Try not to lose it. Next, the next step after you put it in the delicious caramel sauce we made together is you put it in cinnamon and you roll it around so that it's covered in cinnamon as good as you can. Sadly, my hands are a little dirty from the delicious caramel. And then you dip it in chocolate. And after that, you just leave it to cool. If your hands aren't so messy, if you have a better thing, then you should not get your hands wet, and then you can make a clear, nice shell around the almond, and then what you have is one of my Oishii almonds. It is an almond with caramel, cinnamon stuck to the caramel, and all wrapped up in dark chocolate. Absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. I could eat this all day. It's high in protein, so you and your girlfriend, your cute 2D girlfriend, can both eat these after working out. Important step is, I forgot, important recommendation. If your girlfriend happens to be REM, I recommend soaking the almonds in bleach for about 20 minutes before cooking. I promise you she loves it. You will too. Anyway, let's make a few more. Alright, and here's a nice spread of my Oishii almonds. Like I said, they came out perfectly, and if you needed to, you can make this almost instantly by just buying the pre-made ingredients at a store. You can just buy pre-made caramel, cinnamon, and dark chocolate, and it's that simple. You just heat up the caramel, dip it in, roll it in cinnamon, and then encase it in dark chocolate. And that's really it for today, viewer Coon. I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day, and, hope you have a nice time with your waifu. Let her suck my nuts. She'll love it.